This is one messy job. Oh, I can't breathe properly with this thing on. Whew, that's better. So I've just been sanding down the plaster on the walls, removing any bumps or any imperfections and just getting it nice and smooth, ready for painting, which I'm absolutely buzzing about, because as soon as we get it painted and we get floor down in here, it's gonna finally feel like a livable space. So over the last couple of days, I've been applying the third coat of plaster over the joints. I say third coat, I don't know if it's classed as that. I'm counting the coat where I applied the tape as the first coat, and then it's 2 on top of that. So the third coat or the final coat, but whatever we call it, it's the last coat, and that's the most important thing. This has been a big old job. Now I'm gonna do something here that I almost never do, and that's blow my own trumpet. Because this job has turned out better than I could ever have anticipated. This is so smooth. Once this is painted, you would never know that there's a join there. It's completely seamless. So yeah, I'm a happy man today, but I will be even happier once this sanding job is done, and there's plenty to do, so time to press on. I decided to sand before I did this last coat because it's made today's sanding a lot lighter work. All I'm doing today is just sanding down the left and right hand sides where it's feathered, just to feather it out even better. Then I'm just doing a bit of a shimmy left to right across just to make sure it's all flat. But really I'm just doing it to get the texture. The texture, once it's been sanded, basically just makes it feel cohesive with the rest of the plasterboard. So hopefully it'll make it feel more like one piece when it's painted. We're nearly done now, just got one more wall to do, then the dreaded ceiling, which I'm not looking forward to. And then I guess I'm gonna have to have a bit of a clean because there is dust everywhere. It's an early start for me today because when I was getting ready for today's work last night, looked at the paint and it says you need a primer for going onto plasterboard, and I haven't got one. Do you need one? Do you not? I'm not sure, but I'm not going to take the risk. Plus I need to get some more rollers anyway. So we're up early. We're going to get to the shop for when they open, so then I can get back as quick as possible and we can have as long a day as possible getting some priming done. Put a bin bag in here last night to take to the bin, and it smells of literal bum in here. Crack that window, jeez. So both the primer and the paint that we're using, they're from a range called bio-based. So it's virtually VOC free. It's less than 1 gram per litre. And the way they advertise it is that you could paint in here and the next day you could have a baby sleep in here. So it's very, very safe. And just for comparison, I think a normal paint off gases, I think it takes about 30 days to off gas fully. I'll put the actual number here, fact checking myself. But yeah, this is basically composed of resin and natural materials and water. Yeah, so really happy with that. So anybody based in Portugal, Luxon's bio-based. They've got a pretty good range of colours if you're interested in that. So yeah, big thumbs up. So I'm starting off with a brush and a dinky roller in the corners, around the sockets, around the light fittings, and yeah, then we'll crack out the big roller and we'll just start going turbo speed because I'm a bit strapped for time today. We just had a big wood delivery come as well, so that's gobbled up a big chunk of time. Hopefully I can get all of this done and then tomorrow can get the first coat of paint on. Struggling to speak today. Knuckle down, focus.
This week's video is sponsored by June's Journey. If you're somebody who likes a little bit of a challenge, you've got a sharp eye for detail and you're into murder mystery, then this is going to be right up your street. So June's Journey is a really fun hidden object mystery game. It's set in the roaring 1920s and it follows the story of June, who is an amateur detective, on a mission to find out who killed her sister. The circumstances are all very mysterious. The police don't have the answers, but June is sure that there is somebody else involved and she is determined to get to the bottom of it. In the game, you work your way through these really detailed scenes that are always changing, and it's your job to find hidden clues. You earn points that you can then use to decorate your island, and importantly, it unlocks the next chapters of the game to play. There are also seasonal events that you can win unique rewards at. I really like that there's a strong story to the game. As you're going through it, there's themes of love, betrayal, lots of plot twists along the way, lots of juicy stuff for you to uncover. So if you'd like to play June's Journey, you can, for free. Just scan the QR code or click our link in the description, and it's available to play on iOS, Android and PC.
This is going on really nicely. Whenever I've used a primer before, it's always been quite thick. And this doesn't feel like that at all. Maybe it must be because of the resin. I don't know, I'm speaking like I know what normally makes up paint, but either way, rolls on a dream. Come and have one final look then, before it turns into the cabin of your dreams.
Marshmallow white sensation. It looks fresh already, even with the patchiness.
Yeah, I kind of realised that this, as soon as the primer goes on, this is going to be sort of the biggest transformation of the painting, because once that's all gone and the plasterboard's gone, the next paint is going to be a light paint on a light paint. You're not really going to see too much.
It looks good. And you've got through surprisingly, like quite a lot from what I can see here anyway.
Yeah, but I think you're seeing the plaster as well. The plaster's making it look like I've painted more.
Okay, modest as ever. Can I come up?
Yeah.
Can you help me?
Yeah. You try a hand. Can you get a foot up?
Right. For a second there, I thought the cantilever wasn't going to work. Oh, this is so bright in here. Echoey.
Right. I'm going to get rolling.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's fine, it's not transferred.
Good. Alright, how are you going to get down?
I just do it. Oh, cool.
We'll see you in a bit. So we bought a telescopic pole for trying to apply this. I'm hoping it's going to speed things up a bit. I won't have to mess around with the ladder. God, that's way longer than I'm going to need. It's nearly touching the ceiling. Good for dancing around though. No, but hopefully this is going to make things a bit speedier. Whenever you see pros doing it, they're always like whipping around with one of these. Obviously they've got primo ones, I've got a fairly budget one, but let's give it a whirl. Not bad at all, that was pretty quick. So I'm gonna whisk through this. Happy days. That, my friends, is what we call a juster, because I only just had enough primer to get all of that covered. I bought 2 tubs, which is a lot more than what they say for the square meter coverage, but somehow it barely made it. But look at this. Ceilings through there, and it almost looks done, doesn't it? Oh, very happy. I did have to go a little bit thinner, which, like you can see with that darker mark in there in the bedroom, because I was nervous it was going to run out before I could get into the bathroom, but everything's done. I'm hoping I'm going to have enough paint now. I've bought 4 tubs, but I only need 3 or less than 3, so 3 is with extra, so hopefully that's going to get me all the way and I can get a good coverage of that. But I'm going to knock it on the head because it is 10 to 7. So I've been on the go now for about 13 hours and I'm absolutely tatered. So yeah, I'm gonna go throw the ball around for pop, have some food, relax for the evening, maybe even treat myself to a bit of a lay-in tomorrow, dogs and baby permitting, but tomorrow we'll start putting down some paint. A little bit of a magnolia dreamer here at the moment. It's very yellowy. The colour we have gone for is like an off-white. Don't know if you can see this. Yoink. Off-white. Probably looks fairly cream on the camera. So in this living space, we just want it to be as bright as possible. We've got the door right there, the window at the back. We just want it to feel almost like you're outdoors. We really want to feel the day in here, feel the warmth from outside. We were thinking about doing a colour in the bedroom to try and make that not quite as bright, a bit more suitable for sleeping, but we changed our mind at the last minute and we're just going to go one colour throughout, and I'll tell you why. So one thing that we really like about the design of this place is that the 2 rooms individually are very small, but where we did this dividing wall that's partially open, you kind of feel like you've got 2 separate spaces, but you still get the illusion of it being much bigger. So neither room feels very small. If that was blocked up, this living space would feel tiny. And as a result, we were thinking if there was colour on that wall, it would kind of break the illusion and you would come in and it would just feel like this was one space and that was one space, and I don't think you'd get the same benefit. One colour that we both really liked was this terracotta because it was going to make the bedroom feel warm, and it's also like a nice nod to the tiles on the other buildings, but it would just be too contrasting. We looked at some more subtler options like this, but again, instantly you can see this is the dividing wall. It would just feel like two spaces. We're both happy with the decision because there's going to be ample furniture, soft furnishings, blinds and things where we can add pops of colour to the space as well as warmth. And you know, it's only paint. If we decide down the line we want to change it, we can. That's what it dries like. A lot softer. Can you even see the difference on camera? They are different, I promise. Makes this look quite salmony. The weather's going crackers out there today. You hear this? It's blowing a gale. Does anybody else find colour theory as interesting as I do? It's basically how your brain will perceive a colour differently depending on what it's next to, because this paint is baffling me. So here, this looks off-white, almost magnolia. You put it on the wall next to the magnolia, and all of a sudden it looks sort of salmony. One thing I will say about the colour is that it feels warm, it feels subtle. Me likey. We need to get some guttering on this place because every time it rains, we end up with a bit of a swamp right outside the door. Right, it's time for the main event. The pole is back out. Don't worry, there'll be no promiscuous dancing today. Not from me anyway. And I think I've got a pretty good idea of Victoria's taste and likes and dislikes. And I think she's gonna love this. You watch, I'll get her opinion now. She'll be like, I hate it. And she'll make me look like a right tit. Hello? Hello? Are you feeding him at the moment? Do you want to come have a look? I'm done. Yeah, not you two. You two wait there. Okay, I'll see you in a sec. Place your bets now. Will she like it? Will she not? First reaction?
Tinted. Oh, it looks kind of like pinkish.
That's what I said, like salmony.
I won't go salmon, but definitely a pink hue.
I'm actually quite surprised that you said that because it looked really salmony when you could see the primer.
Right.
I thought you were going to come up and just be like, yeah, it's just off-white.
No. That's no standing step. No, it's got a bit of a tinge. But yeah, I was worried it was going to look boring, to be honest, but I think it looks calm, which is good.
Calm.
Yeah, grossly underestimated the temperature out here.
Yeah, it's got really buggy as well because it's been so wet and now hot.
What, you mean in the paint?
No, just everywhere.
Okay. No, the catkins have just shed on me as well. It's like confetti under the trees.
Also, you got a nice bit of baby chunder on your shoulder there.
Yeah, I know. It's the ultimate accessory. It's the top with the least of it on though, so.
Good morning, good people. It's been a couple of days since we were last filming because yesterday we had a day off. well, that's not true. We were still working, but we just weren't working on the cabin. The day before that, I came out and did the second coat and the final coat of the paint. So that's now looking really good. To be honest, I think we probably didn't need that second coat. It looked pretty good with the first one. It was only in a few areas where it was a bit patchy, but I'm glad we did it because it looks the perfect job now. So really happy with how it's turned out. And now that all the painting is done, do you know what that makes today? Flooring day. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So we've gone for a laminate flooring in here, and sticking with the tone of keeping things warm and cozy, we've gone for, I would describe this as a medium oak. Very nice. This is my first time laying laminate, so not really got much of a reference as to how long it will take, apart from I've watched other people do it and it seems relatively easy. So fingers crossed it goes as smoothly as I'm hoping it's going to. So this underlay, it's first of all, it doesn't go together as easy as they make it sound like it does. They make it sound like a piece of cake when you just concertina it out, roll it out, and it all clip-claps together. It doesn't, it's a bit fiddly, but the purpose of this is there's obviously slight imperfections in the subfloor surface, so it levels them out. It also adds a bit of cushioning underneath the plank, so it feels just a bit nicer to walk on. And then this one as well has a nice bit of acoustic properties. It has acoustic properties to it, yeah, so we'll just reduce the sound of walking on it. So I'm just trying to figure out the width of the boards when they're together, because I want to then figure out where I want to start. Because if I just start with a whole plank on one side, what's probably going to happen is by the time I get all the way to this side, I'll end up with a slither. So I want to try and figure out the best way to kind of split the difference, and then I can just start kind of second row in and then cut a couple of boards down that will be probably slightly narrower but not puny. Calculator. Okay, well that's surprising. So it's almost dead on 15 boards. So just trying to think, does it matter where I start? That side has to pass through the threshold into the bedroom. That's the point. Maybe I want that to be a half one. Okay, decision made. We're starting over this side because then I've got a bit of control as to how it passes through into the bedroom. Plus, on this side, we're going to have dog beds, wood stove, kitchenette, so you're not really going to see much of it there at all. I thought you were supposed to just be able to score this and break it. Maybe it's just because it's a little tiny bit, but that is not going anywhere. Saw, I guess.
I'm pretty happy with the colour that this has come out. We only went for sort of a mid to lowish range price for this. We didn't want to go
low range.
Low range. Yeah. We just didn't really want to go too OTT with it, but the colour of it's really nice and it's pretty matte, so it's not sort of that sort of trashy 90s laminate colour. Ooh, and it's on to the second round.
Yeah. I thought it was meant to click, but not clicking.
Maybe it will once you get going with it.
What do you mean?
Sorry, that sounds slight. When you've got a bit more to push up against.
No, I mean when the tongue and the groove go together, it says on the thing it clicks, but maybe that's just, it doesn't actually click.
Also, you might on the microphone pick up some squeaking. I swear it's my shoes, not my bum. It's so squeaky.
Well, this is a bit more labour intensive than I thought it was going to be, so I'm adjusting my expectations. I'm definitely not going to get everything done today. We'll see how far we can get, but so far so good. It's looking good. Motherly duties are unfortunately calling Victoria away.
He's got a chokehold. He's such a strong boy. One thing I will say, those first 2 or 3 planks were a pain in the to get down, but after that, once he sort of started flowing, they did come together a lot quicker. So hopefully, as you progress, it'll get exponentially smoother.
I hope so.
We'll see. So I think we're going to leave you there. But this week we've made, I say we, Ricky really, has made so much progress on the cabin. Granted, didn't get quite as far as we'd hoped with the flooring, but what a transformation. It just looks so different from where we started.
I can actually see us living in there, which I never could before because it just looks dirty and dusty and a bit stinky, but it's looking good.
I can't say I ever got a whiff.
Getting a whiff of this. Whew.
Don't forget to check out June's journey. Scan the QR code or click our link in the description.